What's going on, everybody? My name is Cam Page. I'm the Assistant Director of Instruction here at the Country Club of Mobile. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the golf grip. We're going to talk about how to hold it properly, as well as the importance of why grip should be a core fundamental when you're learning the game. Stay tuned. Towards the end of the video, I'm going to give you a couple tips and tricks on what I would do to learn how to grip the club properly. Golf grip. Why is the grip so important? Right? The only connection we have as golfers to the golf club that we are swinging is our hands, right? That is your direct connection to influence whatever this golf club does. Opens, closes, up, down, around. You have full control through your hands. So with that being said, it's a lot easier to swing the golf club if you have one cohesive unit. Right? It's no longer right hand or left hand in the golf swing. Your hands are now one unit. They're working together as a team. Okay. So as we move forward, I'm going to give you a couple examples and a couple tips and tricks on how we can make sure we get the proper grip. Part one is going to be the basics. Okay, let's just talk about as a beginner golfer, how can I get my hands just on the club in the most natural position that I can? Before we do that, let's talk about some other sports where the fingers really play a role in what you're doing. Football and baseball are really the primary sports that I want to talk about. If I'm a pitcher or if I'm a baseball player, I'm going to throw the ball, I'm going to throw it from my fingertips, right? That's where I have full release, full control from the fingertips. Quarterbacks, when they're throwing a football, it's always releasing from the fingertips. Basketball players releasing from the fingertips. Our full control of the golf club is through our fingertips. So with that being said, when we grip the club, and I'm going to hold it out in front of you, right? I never want to put the grip in my palm. We're going to lose control of our wrist hinge. We're going to lose control of the club face. We have to get that shaft and the grip in our fingertips, right? To be able to hinge as if I was going to throw this club at you. It's in my fingertips, okay? And same thing with my right hand. I'm going to take my right hand. I always like to grip it up here on the shaft, make sure I see it in the fingertips and slide it down. Okay, now I have full control as if I was going to throw an axe, right? I have that control in my fingertips. Those would be the basics of learning how to hold the golf club, always in the fingertips, never in the palm. All right, so let me introduce to you some training aids that can help influence a proper grip and kind of give you a better idea of what it may feel like. I know sometimes when you start practicing and hitting balls, usually the first thing that can kind of get wacky is your grip. Whether you fix it or not, if you don't really pay attention to it, it can go back to what's natural, which is the old ways, sometimes even worse, right? So first thing I want to look at, everybody's heard of Scotty Scheffler, #1 player in the world. He uses one of this grip trainer. There's a couple different styles and brands. I actually have this one on one of my junior clubs that my students use. So if you go out and get yourself a grip trainer, it has the mold for your fingers, right? It's almost like a cheat code, okay? And this provides you the feeling and the comfort of where your hand should rest properly in that club. Highly, highly suggest you getting one. I think Skills Grip makes one that clips onto the grip. That's a great option, very portable. You can take it with you in your bag. This one actually is a real grip that goes on your club, but buy you something that kind of gives you the idea and the feeling of where your hand should be. All right, the next training aid I want to introduce may seem a little unorthodox compared to most training aids, but it's actually something you can find at your house, right? Maybe go pick it up at the hardware store, is a ruler or a yardstick. Okay, so as we know, rulers are flat. And I really like using a ruler as an example of how to grip a golf club, because the only way to make this comfortable to grip it is to grip it from the sides of the club on the flat side. Okay. Notice how when I grip it from the sides, I have that wrist hinge and that control that we're looking for. If I was to grip it underneath or on top of it, I wouldn't have that control. My wrist angles would be all wacky and uncomfortable. So I like to imagine when I'm holding a golf club that it has flat edges on the sides, like I'm gripping a ruler. My hands come in from the side, hands come in from the side. Now I'm not too on top of the club, I'm not too underneath it. I'm perfectly on the flatter edges, which gives me that control that we talked about a minute ago. All right, everybody, thank you all for stopping by and watching this video. Stay tuned. Coming up, we're going to have a bunch more videos talking about the fundamentals of your game and how beginner golfers, intermediate golfers, and even advanced golfers can take these skill sets and apply them to your game so you can get better.